Across the wildest reaches of our planet, the animal kingdom is a stage for primal instincts, forces that echo what we call the seven deadly sins. Here, every heartbeat is a negotiation with fate, and every action is a testament to the relentless drive for survival. These are not moral failings, but ancient drives. Gluttony, sloth, wrath, greed, pride, envy, and lust, each manifesting in breathtaking, sometimes brutal, displays of survival. In the wild, these instincts are not vices, but the very currency of life. Gluttony emerges in the relentless hunger of the honey badger, tearing into hives for every last drop of honey, immune to the furious stings of thousands of bees. The African elephant, with its insatiable appetite, consumes up to 300 pounds of vegetation daily, toppling trees and reshaping entire landscapes in its quest for sustenance. In the rivers of Alaska, brown bears gorge on salmon, their fur slick with fish oil, building reserves for the long winter ahead. Even the blue whale, the largest animal on Earth, demonstrates gluttony on a colossal scale, engulfing tons of krill in a single gulp, fueling its immense body for epic migrations. Sloth is embodied by the koala, dozing for up to 20 hours a day, conserving energy for digesting toxic eucalyptus leaves. The sloth bear, with its languid movements, appears almost indifferent to the world, yet every slow step is a calculated act of energy conservation. The three-toed sloth, draped in a living cloak of green algae, moves so slowly that it becomes nearly invisible to predators, its life a delicate balance between motion and stillness. In the misty mountains of China, the giant panda spends hours reclining in bamboo groves, its slow, deliberate feeding a testament to the art of patience. Wrath explodes in the thunderous charge of a silverback gorilla, chest pounding like a war drum as it defends its troop from intruders. The wolverine, a compact bundle of fury, will battle wolves and bears many times its size, its rage a weapon as sharp as its claws. On the African plains, a Cape buffalo, eyes wild with fury, will turn on a pride of lions, scattering them with sheer force. In the forests of North America, a mother grizzly's wrath is legendary, her protective rage transforming her into an unstoppable force when her cubs are threatened. Greed is seen in the magpie's obsession with collecting shiny treasures, its nest a trove of stolen jewels and metal. The squirrel, ever vigilant, defends its cache of acorns with relentless determination, chasing off any would-be thieves. In the deserts of North America, the pack rat's den is a chaotic museum of pilfered objects, each item hoarded with single-minded purpose. Even beneath the waves, hermit crabs battle for the most luxurious shells, their greed for better armor driving fierce confrontations. Pride radiates from the peacock's extravagant display, each feather a living canvas of color and light, signaling strength and vitality to potential mates. The alpha wolf, posture rigid and eyes sharp, surveys its domain from a rocky vantage, every movement reinforcing its authority. In the rainforests, the male mandrill's vivid face and flamboyant gait announce his dominance to rivals and admirers alike. On misty mornings, the bugle of a stag elk echoes through the valleys, his towering antlers a symbol of his reign. Envy flickers in the eyes of a subordinate chimpanzee, lips curled in silent frustration as the alpha feasts. Rival lions, muscles taut and eyes narrowed, circle each other across the golden savanna, each coveting the pride and territory of the other. In the wolf pack, a lower-ranking member gazes longingly at the alpha's share, hunger and ambition mingling in its gaze. Among elephants, young males watch the matriarch's every move, yearning for the day they might lead. Lust pulses through the bowerbird's tireless construction of intricate bowers, each blue trinket a promise to potential mates. At dawn, red deer stags lock antlers in thunderous combat, their breath steaming in the cold air as they battle for breeding rights. On the open plains, male sage grouse perform elaborate dances, their chests swelling and feathers rattling in a spectacle of desire. Beneath the waves, Cuttlefish shimmer with iridescent colors, weaving hypnotic patterns to entice a mate. Yet these so-called sins are not vices in the wild. They are the very engines of adaptation, each behavior a finely tuned response to the demands of survival. The cheetah's explosive sprint, the Arctic fox's tireless search, the falcon's lethal dive, and the orca's cunning pursuit, all are acts of necessity, not malice. Every act, whether it appears greedy, wrathful, or slothful, is a calculated move in the relentless contest for life, shaped by millions of years of evolution. The polar bear's vigilance, the meerkat's watchful gaze, the wild dog's protective stance, and the penguin's selfless warmth are all strategies honed by time. These instincts, honed by time and necessity, transform what we might call sins into strategies, tools for thriving in the harshest environments on Earth. The snow leopard's silent approach, the octopus's shifting disguise, the gecko's vanishing act, and the archerfish's precision strike are all masterpieces of adaptation. In nature, cooperation and competition, aggression and patience all serve a singular purpose: to endure, to adapt, and to ensure the next generation survives. Wild dogs synchronize their movements with uncanny precision. Penguins share warmth in the coldest winds. Ants become living architecture, and dolphins orchestrate hunts with silent signals. The wild is not governed by human ethics, but by the raw, unyielding laws of existence, where every day is a test, and every so-called sin is a testament to the ingenuity of life itself. From the silent stalk of the jaguar to the epic migrations of butterflies and caribou, and the perilous dash of newborn turtles, every creature is both architect and survivor in nature's grand design. In the wild, gluttony is not a vice, but a calculated act of survival. When food appears, animals must seize the moment, consuming as much as their bodies can hold, sometimes to the point of discomfort, because the next meal is never guaranteed. This instinct is honed by evolution, shaping creatures into opportunistic feeders, who transform abundance into endurance. Take the brown bear, for example. As autumn deepens, these giants become relentless eating machines. Driven by the biological imperative of hyperphagia, they roam riverbanks and forests, devouring salmon, berries, and even insects. Each bite is a deposit in their fat reserves which will sustain them through the long, frozen months of hibernation. A single bear can consume up to 90 pounds of food in a day, its body transforming calories into the thick insulation needed to survive the bitter cold and total fasting of winter. The python's approach to gluttony is a marvel of adaptation. After lying motionless for days or even weeks, it strikes with lightning speed, constricting prey with immense force. Its jaws, unhinged and elastic, allow it to engulf animals far larger than its own head. Once swallowed, the python's metabolism shifts into overdrive, digesting bone, fur, and flesh alike. For days, it lies motionless, its body swollen with the meal, conserving energy until hunger returns. Pelicans, meanwhile, are masters of opportunistic feeding. With a sudden plunge, they scoop up entire schools of fish in their expandable throat pouches. In moments of plenty, a pelican may consume dozens of fish in rapid succession, its pouch ballooning with each catch. This feast or famine lifestyle is dictated by the unpredictable rhythms of the water, where abundance can vanish in an instant. Sloth, often mistaken for laziness, is in fact a masterpiece of evolutionary efficiency. The three-toed sloth spends its life suspended in the rainforest canopy, moving so slowly that moss and algae take root in its fur, camouflaging it from sharp-eyed predators. Its diet consists almost entirely of tough, fibrous leaves, which are difficult to digest and low in energy. To survive, the sloth's metabolism is exceptionally slow, and it sleeps up to 15 hours a day, conserving every precious calorie. Koalas, too, are icons of deliberate inactivity. Their existence revolves around eucalyptus leaves, which are not only low in nutrients, but also laced with toxins. To process this challenging diet, koalas have evolved a highly specialized digestive system and an energy-saving lifestyle. They rest for up to 20 hours a day, moving only to feed or find a new perch. Their bodies perfectly adapted to a life of minimal exertion. The giant panda's apparent lethargy is another example of adaptation. Bamboo, their staple food, is abundant but nutritionally poor. To extract enough energy, pandas must eat for up to 14 hours a day, consuming as much as 80 pounds of bamboo. When not feeding, they rest, conserving energy for the next lengthy meal. Their slow, deliberate movements are a direct response to the demands of their unique diet. Wrath, in the animal world, is a force both feared and respected. The hippopotamus, despite its placid appearance, is among the most aggressive mammals on Earth. In the rivers of Africa, hippos defend their territories with explosive violence, opening their jaws to reveal massive tusks and charging intruders with astonishing speed. Their aggression is not mindless rage, but a calculated defense of space, mates, and offspring. Elephants, the gentle giants of the savannah, are capable of extraordinary wrath when threatened. A matriarch, sensing danger, will rally her herd, forming a living barricade around the calves. With ears flared and trunks raised, elephants charge at predators or rivals, their sheer size and unity overwhelming any threat. This coordinated fury is a testament to their intelligence and deep social bonds. The wolverine, though small in stature, is legendary for its ferocity. In the frozen forests and tundra, it will confront wolves, bears, and even lynxes, using raw aggression to defend its meals and territory. Its powerful jaws and relentless spirit allow it to scavenge and hunt in some of the harshest environments on the planet, earning it a reputation as one of nature's most fearless combatants. Across continents and climates, gluttony, sloth, and wrath manifest in countless forms. Each behavior is a finely tuned response to the pressures of survival, shaped by millions of years of evolution. In the wild, these so-called sins are not flaws, but essential strategies for enduring the relentless challenges of nature. Gluttony enables animals to transform fleeting abundance into lasting security. By gorging when food is plentiful, they build reserves that carry them through drought, famine, or the long sleep of hibernation. Slothful behaviors, far from being wasteful, are acts of conservation. By minimizing movement and maximizing rest, animals like sloths, koalas, and pandas survive on diets that would starve more active creatures, thriving in environments where energy is a precious commodity. Wrath, when unleashed, is a formidable shield. It deters rivals, repels predators, and protects the vulnerable, ensuring that the next generation survives to carry on the lineage. What we might call vice is, in the animal kingdom, a mark of ingenuity. Each so-called sin is a solution, a testament to the creativity and resilience of life in the face of adversity. In nature's grand tapestry, every behavior that secures survival is justified. For the creatures of the wild, to see another sunrise is the ultimate triumph. And in this pursuit, gluttony, sloth, and wrath are not sins, but the very tools of life itself. In the animal kingdom, greed is not a vice, but a vital instinct, a ceaseless pursuit of resources that can mean the difference between life and death. Every day, animals are locked in a silent contest, driven by the need to secure food, territory, and safety for themselves and their kin. This relentless drive shapes the destinies of creatures great and small, forging behaviors that are as complex as they are fascinating. In the dense forests and rugged mountains of North America, the grizzly bear's greed is a matter of survival. As winter approaches, a grizzly will gorge on salmon, berries, and roots, consuming up to 20,000 calories a day. It will defend its catch with ferocity, standing its ground against wolves, other bears, and even scavenging birds. Each meal is a battle, and every calorie counts towards surviving the long, frozen months ahead. Similarly, the wolverine, a solitary scavenger, will drag entire carcasses across the tundra, caching meat in icy vaults to outlast the bitter cold. On the African savanna, elephants display their own brand of greed. A matriarch may claim a fruit-laden tree, using her immense size to push aside zebras, antelope, and even rival elephants. Her family forms a living barrier, ensuring that only their trunks reach the ripest fruit. Meanwhile, African wild dogs, after a successful hunt, allow only the dominant individuals to feed first, while subordinates wait anxiously at the fringes, hoping for scraps. For smaller creatures, greed is no less intense. The red squirrel spends autumn in a frenzy, collecting and hiding hundreds of nuts in secret caches. It will chase away rivals with shrill calls and swift attacks, defending its stores with surprising aggression. The acorn woodpecker, too, creates elaborate granaries, trees riddled with holes, each one packed with a single acorn. These birds guard their larders fiercely, fending off both feathered and furry thieves. Across continents, the struggle for resources is relentless. A bear may fend off a pack of wolves, while an elephant blocks a waterhole from a thirsty herd. In the grasslands, a spotted hyena risks the wrath of lions to snatch a mouthful of meat, its greed overriding caution in the face of danger. In these unforgiving environments, hoarding is not selfishness, it is a calculated strategy. The bear's fat reserves, the elephant's guarded fruit, and the squirrel's hidden nuts are lifelines, painstakingly gathered to outlast the cold, the drought, and the hunger that claim the unprepared. Pride in the animal world is the bold proclamation of worth, a display of confidence, strength, and allure. It is seen in the fearless stance of the honey badger, the dazzling courtship of the peacock, and the flamboyant displays of the frigate bird, whose scarlet throat pouch balloons like a signal flag to attract mates. The honey badger is infamous for its audacity. It will confront lions, leopards, and venomous snakes, relying on thick skin and a fearless spirit. The peacock, meanwhile, fans out a train of iridescent feathers, shimmering in the sunlight, while the sage grouse inflates its chest sacs and struts across the lek, producing a chorus of pops and whistles to impress watching females. These displays are not mere vanity. They are declarations of dominance and fitness. The honey badger's bravado deters predators and rivals alike. The peacock's beauty is a test of health and genetic quality. On remote beaches, male elephant seals clash in brutal battles, their roars echoing as the victor claims the right to breed with a harem of females. These acts of pride are vital signals, warnings to competitors, invitations to mates. The honey badger's fearlessness, the peacock's splendor, and the frigate bird's flamboyance all serve to secure territory, resources, and the chance to pass on their genes. In one extraordinary encounter, a honey badger survives the venom of a puff adder, only to recover and devour its foe, a testament to its indomitable pride. The peacock, surrounded by admiring peahens, stands triumphant after a dazzling display, while the sage grouse, encircled by females, is rewarded for its elaborate dance. For these animals, pride is a weapon and a shield. It intimidates rivals, secures mates, and carves out a place in a world where only the boldest thrive. Whether in battle, beauty, or bravado, pride is the force that propels these creatures to the forefront of their domains, ensuring their legacy endures. Envy, the longing for another's status or possessions, is a powerful motivator in social animals. It shapes hierarchies, fuels ambition, and drives competition within groups. In the wild, envy is not hidden. It is played out in every glance, every challenge, every subtle shift in power. In a wolf pack, the alpha pair commands respect and privilege, leading hunts and breeding exclusively. Subordinates watch closely, their ambitions simmering beneath the surface. In mandrill troops, the dominant male's vibrant colors and access to the best food and mates are constant sources of envy for others. Among meerkats, the dominant female leads the group, while subordinates wait for any sign of weakness. These social tensions are ever present. Subordinate wolves and mandrills bide their time, waiting for a moment of vulnerability to challenge the leaders. In meerkat groups, a subordinate may attempt to overthrow the matriarch, risking exile or injury for a chance at dominance. These struggles are not always open battles. Sometimes envy simmers in the background. Subordinates watch, wait, and plot, their ambitions hidden behind gestures of submission and patience. Envy fuels ambition, pushing individuals to challenge the status quo. A wolf may one day rise from the shadows to challenge the alpha. A young mandrill driven by longing may risk everything for a chance at leadership. Even among meerkats, the desire for status can spark sudden dramatic confrontations. These struggles can erupt into fierce battles. The victor claims the spoils of leadership, first choice of food, the right to breed, and the loyalty of the group. The defeated are cast out or forced to submit, their ambitions dashed but never extinguished. From the bear's relentless hoarding to the wolf's ambition, the mandrill's rivalry, and the meerkat's social maneuvering, these so-called sins are, in truth, evolutionary strategies, refined by the pressures of survival and the demands of the wild. The greedy animal is the one that endures, the bear that emerges strong from its den, the elephant calf that thrives under the matriarch's protection, the squirrel that greets spring with a full belly, and the wolverine that survives the harshest winter. The proud creature is the one that intimidates threats, secures mates, and ensures the next generation, whether it's the honey badger defending its territory, the peacock leading its chicks, or the frigate bird nurturing its young. The envious challenger is the one who keeps the group strong, ensuring that only the most capable rise to the top, and that the future of the pack, the troop, or the colony is secured. In the wild, greed, pride, and envy are not flaws. They are the engines of adaptation, driving the endless struggle for survival. Through these instincts, animals overcome scarcity, outwit rivals, and ensure the success of generations yet to come. Lust in the animal kingdom is not merely a fleeting emotion, it's a driving force that shapes the very fabric of life. Across continents and ecosystems, the urge to reproduce manifests in astonishing, sometimes perilous ways, each species adapting unique strategies to ensure the survival of their lineage. Take the male African elephant, for example. When he enters musth, a period marked by surging testosterone, his demeanor shifts dramatically. Temporal glands ooze a pungent fluid, and his focus narrows to a single primal objective, finding a mate. During musth, his aggression intensifies, and he becomes a formidable force, challenging rivals in fierce battles. These confrontations are not just displays of power, but critical tests that determine which bull is worthy of passing on his genes. Only the most dominant males succeed, their victories echoing through the savannah as a testament to nature's relentless selection process. This phenomenon is mirrored across the animal world. From red deer stags locking antlers in misty forests to wild stallions battling for control of a harem, the pursuit of mates often leads to dramatic, sometimes violent, encounters. In the realm of insects, lust takes on even more extraordinary forms. The praying mantis, for instance, is infamous for its perilous mating rituals. The female mantis, a consummate predator, is both alluring and lethal. Her hunger can override courtship, turning the act of mating into a deadly gamble for the male. Sometimes, as mating commences, she will begin to consume her partner, starting with his head. This act, while brutal, provides her with vital nutrients needed for egg production. Males often employ intricate courtship displays, dances, vibrations, or even gifts of food to distract or appease their mates, hoping to survive the encounter long enough to ensure successful fertilization. If the male fails to keep her attention, he may pay the ultimate price, his sacrifice fueling the next generation. Paradoxically, this gruesome fate can actually enhance reproductive success, as the nutrients gained by the female may increase the viability of her offspring. Here, lust and survival are inseparable, each act of reproduction a delicate balance between desire and danger. In Australia, the tiny antechinus takes reproductive sacrifice to an extreme. This small marsupial is driven by an overwhelming urge to mate, embarking on a brief but intense breeding season. Males engage in marathon mating sessions, sometimes lasting up to 12 hours with multiple partners. The physical toll is immense. Their bodies are flooded with stress hormones, immune systems collapse, and by the end of the season nearly all males perish, spent but genetically triumphant. This self-destruction is a calculated evolutionary trade-off, maximizing reproductive output at the cost of individual survival. The antechinus's final days are marked by rapid decline. Fur falls out, organs fail, and the animal succumbs, leaving behind a legacy of offspring. In the wild, such sacrifices are not tragic, but essential, woven into the relentless cycle of life and death. From the icy tundra to dense rainforests, animals have evolved a dazzling array of reproductive strategies, each tailored to their environment, each a testament to the power of lust as a force of nature. What we call the 7 deadly sins are, in truth, nature's most ingenious survival mechanisms. Lust chief among them, driving the endless dance of courtship, competition, and renewal. These are not conscious choices, but deeply embedded instincts, honed by millennia of evolution. The elephant in Musth is not wicked. He is compelled by ancient biological imperatives, his actions dictated by the chemistry of survival. The praying mantis is not cruel. She is ensuring the next generation has the resources it needs to thrive. In the animal kingdom, every action is governed by the unyielding law of survival and reproduction, a law that leaves no room for human concepts of morality. Here there is no right or wrong, only the ceaseless, awe-inspiring struggle for life, where lust is both a weapon and a promise, fueling the endless cycle of birth, death, and renewal in the wild. In the vast, unpredictable theatre of the wild, survival is rarely dictated by brute force alone. Instead, the most successful creatures are often those who master the subtle arts of deception and camouflage, turning invisibility, mimicry, and trickery into their most potent defenses and hunting strategies. Across continents and ecosystems, nature's most cunning players wield disguise with astonishing precision. The chameleon, for instance, is renowned for its ability to shift its skin color, not only to blend with foliage, but also to communicate with rivals and mates. Stick insects and leaf insects, meanwhile, have evolved bodies so convincingly plant-like that even the sharpest-eyed predators pass them by, mistaking them for twigs or leaves swaying in the breeze. The line between predator and prey blurs as both sides refine their disguises. The pygmy seahorse, no larger than a paperclip, is nearly indistinguishable from the knobby pink coral it inhabits, its body covered in tiny tubercles that perfectly mimic the coral's texture and color, rendering it invisible to both predators and prey. In Madagascar's rainforests, the leaf-tailed gecko is a living illusion. Its jagged body edges, mottled skin, and flattened tail blend seamlessly with the bark and lichen of ancient trees. Similarly, the Vietnamese mossy frog disappears against moss-covered stones, its warty skin and green hues making it indistinguishable from its damp surroundings. By day, these masters of disguise vanish into their habitats, escaping the gaze of hungry birds and snakes. Only the faintest movement, a blink, a subtle shift, betrays their presence like fleeting ghosts in the dappled light. Predators, too, employ deception. The owl butterfly, for example, rests with its wings closed, displaying large eye-like patterns that mimic the gaze of an owl, deterring would-be attackers with the illusion of a much larger predator. The nightjar, a ground-nesting bird, is so well camouflaged among leaf litter that it can remain undetected even as danger passes within inches. In the Indo-Pacific's coral reefs, the mimic octopus elevates deception to an art form. Unlike its relatives, it can alter not just its color, but also its shape and movement, morphing into venomous lionfish, flatfish, or even banded sea snakes, each impersonation a calculated ploy to deter predators or ambush prey. The decorator crab, meanwhile, adorns itself with bits of algae, sponge, and shell, transforming into a walking patch of reef. The mimic octopus's repertoire is vast, its intelligence matched only by its audacity. It can impersonate up to 15 different species, adapting its disguise to the threats and opportunities of the moment. With a flick of its arms, it transforms into a venomous lionfish, a flatfish gliding over sand, or a banded sea snake, each act a masterstroke of evolutionary theatre. The peacock flounder, too, is a marvel of camouflage, able to change its skin pattern in seconds to match the shifting sands and corals beneath it, vanishing from sight as both predator and prey. These acts of mimicry are not mere tricks. They are essential tools for survival, honed by millions of years of evolutionary pressure. The cuttlefish, a relative of the octopus, can not only change color, but also the texture of its skin, creating bumps and ridges to mimic rocks, sand, or seaweed. Its camouflage is so effective that it can ambush prey from mere centimeters away, unseen, until the final strike. On the forest floor of Southeast Asia, the Malaysian orchid mantis lurks among blossoms, its limbs and body sculpted to resemble the delicate petals of an orchid. The crab spider, too, waits motionless on flowers, its color matching the petals so precisely that pollinators land within reach, unaware of the danger. These predators use beauty as a deadly ruse, their survival dependent on the perfection of their illusions. The orchid mantis can even sway gently, mimicking the movement of flowers in the breeze, further enhancing its disguise. Unsuspecting pollinators, drawn by the promise of nectar, become the mantis's next meal, victims of a deception as elegant as it is lethal. Here, the line between beauty and danger is razor-thin, and only the most discerning eyes survive. In these worlds, survival is a game of patience, precision, and perfect disguise. Even in the frozen Arctic, deception reigns. The Arctic fox, cloaked in pure white fur, is nearly invisible against endless snowdrifts. The ptarmigan, a ground-dwelling bird, adopts a similar strategy, donning a white winter coat to evade predators. As the seasons change, so do these animals. The Arctic fox's coat transforms to a mottled brown in summer, mirroring the tundra's rocks and earth. The stoat, too, shifts from white to brown, blending with the thawing landscape. This seasonal camouflage allows them to hunt and evade predators year-round, a living testament to nature's ingenuity and adaptability. In these harsh environments, the ability to disappear is often the difference between life and death. Every movement is calculated, every color shift a silent adaptation to the ever-changing world. These transformations are not just for hiding, they are for thriving, for seizing every opportunity the landscape offers. Some species wield mimicry not just for concealment, but for hunting. The anglerfish, lurking in the abyssal depths, dangles a glowing lure to attract curious prey, snapping them up in the darkness. The alligator, snapping turtle, submerged and motionless in murky rivers, opens its jaws to reveal a fleshy, worm-like appendage on its tongue. Patiently, it wiggles this lure, enticing curious fish to swim closer, only to snap its jaws shut in an instant, securing its meal through deception rather than pursuit. The frogfish, camouflaged as a sponge or coral, uses a similar tactic, flicking a lure to draw in unsuspecting prey. These hunters rely on patience and illusion, their success measured in the split second between curiosity and capture. In the world of camouflage, the line between hunter and hunted is often razor-thin. In the rainforests of Central America, the glasswing butterfly employs transparency as its shield. Its wings, nearly invisible save for delicate veins, allow it to drift undetected through shafts of sunlight. The clear-wing moth uses a similar strategy, its see-through wings making it almost impossible to spot among the foliage. Predators, confounded by these vanishing acts, are left chasing shadows, reminders that in nature, what you see is not always what you get. The art of deception is a dance of light, shadow, and movement, perfected over millennia. Deception and camouflage are not signs of cowardice, but of evolutionary brilliance, a testament to the endless creativity of life. In this world, survival is not always about being the strongest or fastest, but about being unseen, unnoticed, underestimated. Through mimicry, concealment, and illusion, these animals remind us that the greatest advantage often belongs to those who remain hidden in plain sight. From the rainforest canopy to the ocean depths, from frozen tundra to sunlit savanna, the masters of disguise shape the fate of the wild with every silent, unseen move. In the end, it is not always the boldest or the brightest who survive. In the relentless contest for survival, nature rewards not only brute strength or silent stealth, but also the sharpest minds and the most ingenious strategies. Every day across the globe, animals are locked in a high-stakes game of deception, adaptation, and wit, where the difference between life and death often hinges on a single clever move. From the dense rainforests to the open savannas and winding wetlands, creatures of every shape and size employ extraordinary cunning. Their tactics are as varied as their habitats, each one a testament to the endless creativity of evolution. In the golden grasslands of Africa, the drongo bird has become infamous as the feathered trickster. This small, glossy black bird is not just a passive observer of the savanna's drama, it is an active manipulator, weaving itself into the lives of other animals with remarkable cunning. The drongo shadows meerkat groups as they dig and probe for insects, watching with keen eyes for the perfect moment to intervene. It is patient, blending into the background, waiting for opportunity to strike. Meerkats, ever vigilant, rely on a complex system of alarm calls to warn each other of danger. Their lives depend on their ability to react instantly to the slightest hint of threat. But the drongo is a master of mimicry, able to flawlessly imitate not only its own calls, but also the urgent warning cries of the meerkats themselves. This vocal deception is the key to its strategy. At the precise moment when the meerkats are most distracted by their foraging, the drongo unleashes a perfectly timed, counterfeit alarm. The sound is so convincing that even the most experienced meerkats are fooled. In a flash, the meerkats scatter, abandoning their hard-won meals in a desperate bid for safety. The drongo's ruse has worked flawlessly. Seizing the moment, the drongo swoops down and snatches up the abandoned insects, turning the meerkat's vigilance into its own feast. This is theft by deception, executed with surgical precision. Through calculated dishonesty, the drongo thrives, transforming the language of warning into a tool for survival. Its success depends on timing, observation, and the ability to read the social cues of other species. Deep beneath the emerald canopy of South America, another master of deception lurks, the bolus spider. Unlike its web-spinning relatives, this spider has evolved a hunting technique that is as inventive as it is deadly. Instead of weaving a sprawling web, the bolus spider crafts a single, silken thread tipped with a sticky globule, the bolus. This weapon dangles from the spider's leg, ready to be swung at unsuspecting prey. The spider's true genius, however, lies in its chemical mimicry. It releases pheromones that perfectly imitate those of female moths, luring male moths with the irresistible promise of a mate. Drawn by the scent, male moths approach, oblivious to the danger. When the moth is within range, the spider swings its bolus with astonishing accuracy, ensnaring its victim in a single, sticky strike. Here, trickery is a blend of chemistry, seduction, and impeccable timing. The bolus spider's deception is so effective that it can capture multiple moths in a single night, each one drawn in by a false promise. In the winding rivers of South Asia, the Asian small-clawed otter demonstrates a different kind of cunning, one rooted in cooperation and social intelligence. These otters hunt in tightly coordinated groups, herding schools of fish into shallow waters where escape is nearly impossible. Their teamwork is a marvel of silent communication and shared intent. When faced with particularly elusive prey, the otters adapt their tactics. Some create noisy diversions, splashing and churning the water to drive fish toward the riverbank, while others lie in silent ambush, ready to intercept the fleeing quarry. The startled fish, seeking refuge from the chaos, swim straight into the jaws of the waiting otters. This collaborative ruse is a testament to the power of collective intelligence in the animal world. Through seamless teamwork and adaptive strategy, the otters turn the river into a stage for their elaborate hunt, proving that cunning is not limited to solitary tricksters. Even among the smallest creatures, deception is a powerful weapon. Insects, with their astonishing diversity, have evolved some of the most creative disguises and ruses in the natural world. The assassin bug, a denizen of tropical forests, is a master of the bait and switch. Its predatory tactics are as chilling as they are effective. This insect collects the empty husks of dead ants, carefully attaching them to its back. The result is a grotesque disguise, a moving pile of debris that fools even the sharpest-eyed predators and prey. When live ants approach, deceived by the camouflage, the assassin bug strikes with lightning speed, turning its disguise into a deadly trap. By transforming the remains of its victims into a macabre cloak, the assassin bug becomes both predator and phantom, haunting the forest floor with silent menace. In the sun-scorched deserts of Australia, the thorny devil lizard employs a different form of deception, one that relies on anatomical illusion. When threatened, the thorny devil lowers its real head and presents a false head, a spiny, knobbed structure on the back of its neck. This decoy draws the attention of predators, diverting attacks away from the lizard's vulnerable body. As a predator lunges, the thorny devil twists and dodges, using its false head as a shield. This clever misdirection often gives the lizard just enough time to escape into the safety of the sand. Through anatomical sleight of hand and perfect camouflage, the thorny devil transforms vulnerability into survival, blending seamlessly into the arid landscape. Cunning and trickery are not rare exceptions in the animal kingdom. They are essential strategies, woven into the very fabric of life. Each species, in its own way, has evolved unique methods to deceive, outwit, and survive. From mimicry and camouflage to elaborate social schemes, these animals remind us that intelligence in the wild is as diverse as life itself, sometimes hidden behind a mask, a mimic's call, or a perfectly executed plan. In the endless arms race of survival, it is often the clever and the crafty who claim the greatest prize, another day on nature's most unforgiving stage, where only the most resourceful endure. In the relentless theatre of the wild, where survival often hinges on cunning and competition, there exists a profound, often overlooked force, sacrifice and altruism. These acts, woven into the very fabric of animal societies, reveal a world where selflessness can be as vital as strength or speed. While the wilderness is famed for its ruthless strategies, it is also a realm where unexpected alliances and acts of generosity emerge, shaping destinies and ensuring the survival of entire communities. On the frozen plains of Antarctica, emperor penguins endure months of darkness and temperatures that plunge far below freezing. Their survival depends not on individual might, but on unity. As the polar night descends, thousands of penguins form tightly packed huddles, each bird pressing against its neighbors to share warmth. The outermost penguins, battered by icy winds, periodically rotate inward, allowing others to take their place on the perimeter. This seamless choreography ensures that no individual suffers the cold for too long. It is a silent pact. Each bird endures hardship for the collective good, a testament to the power of shared sacrifice. In these moments, survival is not a solitary pursuit, but a communal endeavor, where the willingness to give up comfort can mean the difference between life and death. The emperor penguin's huddle is a living, breathing example of how sacrifice can be the strongest shield against nature's harshest trials. Deep beneath the African savanna, naked mole rats thrive in labyrinthine tunnels. Their society is built on cooperation, with every member playing a vital role. A single queen produces all the offspring, while workers dig tunnels and gather food. Among them, a caste of soldier mole rats stands ready to defend the colony from snakes and other predators. When danger threatens, these soldiers form a living barricade, blocking tunnels with their own bodies. They risk, and often lose, their lives to protect the vulnerable young and the queen deep within the warren. This daily devotion to the colony's welfare is not a rare act, but a way of life, an instinctual commitment to the group that ensures the survival of all. In the lush rainforests of Central America, the strawberry poison dart frog displays a different kind of sacrifice: parental devotion. After laying her eggs, the female carries each tadpole, one at a time, up towering trees to isolated pools of water nestled in bromeliad leaves. For weeks she returns daily to each pool, depositing unfertilized eggs as nourishment for her growing young. This relentless routine drains her energy, yet she persists, ensuring her offspring have the best chance at survival. Her sacrifice is a vivid testament to the endurance of parental love, even in the smallest and most vulnerable creatures. In the dense canopy, her devotion echoes quietly, a reminder that even the tiniest lives are shaped by acts of selfless care. Among insects, altruism takes on dramatic forms. In the rainforests of Southeast Asia, the Malaysian exploding ant stands as a symbol of ultimate self-sacrifice. When their colony is threatened, special worker ants rupture their own bodies, releasing a sticky, toxic secretion that immobilizes invaders. This act of self-destruction costs the ant its life, but saves countless others. A dramatic, irreversible gesture for the greater good. In these colonies, the willingness to give everything for the group is not just respected, it is essential for survival. In the vibrant coral reefs of the Indo-Pacific, cleaner russerfish perform a different kind of service, forging alliances that cross species boundaries. These small fish establish cleaning stations, where larger, sometimes predatory fish gather to have parasites removed from their scales and gills. The cleaner rasa risk becoming prey themselves, yet their consistent, careful work builds trust and forges symbiotic relationships that benefit both parties. In the savannas of Africa, wild dogs exemplify cooperative care. After a hunt, they regurgitate food for pups and injured pack members, ensuring that even the weakest are nourished. When a pack member is injured, others slow their pace, refusing to abandon their companion. In the darkness of caves, vampire bats display remarkable generosity. Individuals who have fed successfully will regurgitate blood to share with hungry roostmates, a lifeline for those who failed to find a meal. This reciprocal altruism strengthens social bonds and increases the survival chances of the entire colony. These stories, drawn from every corner of the animal kingdom, reveal a deeper truth. Survival is often a collective achievement shaped by acts of courage, compassion, and self-sacrifice. In the intricate web of ecosystems, the willingness to give, sometimes at great personal cost, can determine the fate of individuals and entire species, forging communities that endure against the odds. In nature's grand design, the strongest bonds are not always forged by dominance or aggression, but by quiet acts of courage, devotion, and the enduring power of sacrifice. In the wild, territory is the currency of survival, a resource as vital as food or water. Every inch of land, every patch of forest, every stretch of riverbank holds the promise of sustenance, shelter, and the continuation of a bloodline. For many creatures, the boundaries they defend mean the difference between abundance and starvation, between raising young in safety or losing them to lurking threats. The stakes are nothing less than life and legacy. Across continents and ecosystems, animals are locked in relentless contests, each species wielding its own arsenal of strategies, from brute force to cunning deception, all shaped by the pressures of evolution. On the sun-baked plains of Africa, male lions are the architects of dynasties. Their roars ripple across the grasslands, a warning and a challenge to rivals lurking at the edges of their domain. Coalitions, often brothers or close kin, band together, their combined strength a formidable force. They stalk the periphery, watching for weakness in the reigning males, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the clash comes, it is thunderous. Powerful bodies collide, claws rake through fur, and jaws snap with bone-crushing force. The air vibrates with the sound of battle, and only the most resilient or cunning will emerge victorious. For the victors, the spoils are immense: control of the pride, exclusive mating rights, and the chance to imprint their genes on the next generation. The defeated are cast out, forced into exile. Alone, they face a world of uncertainty, where every day is a struggle to survive without the protection of the group. Deep in the emerald rainforests of Southeast Asia, the male orangutan's dominance is written on his face. Broad cheek pads and a throat sac that amplifies his calls through the tangled canopy. These solitary giants traverse vast territories, their booming vocalizations echoing for miles. Each call is both a beacon to potential mates and a warning to rivals. This land is claimed. When two males meet, tension electrifies the air. They size each other up, displaying their bulk and vocal power. Most encounters end in a standoff, but when neither backs down, the ensuing fight can be savage, leaving deep scars as lifelong reminders of the battle. Beneath the shimmering surface of tropical reefs, the mantis shrimp is a master of its domain. Despite its small size, it is a formidable gladiator, feared by all who share its patch of coral. Armed with club-like appendages, the mantis shrimp strikes with the speed of a bullet. Its blows can shatter shells, crack glass, and even create tiny bubbles of superheated water that explode with a flash of light. Each mantis shrimp claims a burrow, fiercely defending it from any intruder. The burrow is both fortress and hunting ground, a lifeline in the bustling chaos of the reef. When rivals meet, the confrontation is a blur of color and motion. Lightning-fast strikes are exchanged, each blow a test of speed, accuracy, and nerve. The loser retreats, battered and defeated, while the victor secures the precious territory. Far to the south, on the wind-lashed cliffs of the Falkland Islands, albatrosses return each year to ancient nesting grounds. Here, the struggle for territory is a ritual as old as the species itself. Instead of violence, these seabirds rely on elaborate displays, spreading wings, bowing and calling in a complex choreography that signals strength and intent. Synchronized dances and sharp beak clacks communicate dominance. Each gesture is a carefully crafted message deciphered by rivals and potential mates alike. Only those with the most convincing performances secure the best nesting sites, prime real estate that offers protection from predators and the harsh elements, giving their chicks the greatest chance of survival. In the lush rainforests of Central and South America, poison dart frogs use their voices as weapons. Each male selects a territory, a patch of leaf litter or a bromeliad pool, and fills the air with a chorus of calls. The calls are relentless, each note a declaration of ownership. The louder and more persistent the call, the more likely it is to attract a mate and warn off would-be challengers. But when two males meet, the contest escalates. Vocal duels give way to wrestling matches, where each frog grapples to pin the other, using agility and strength to claim victory. The winner claims exclusive rights to the territory, a critical advantage in attracting females and ensuring the survival of his offspring. Even among the smallest creatures, territoriality is a driving force. Insects like beetles and ants wage silent wars, using chemical signals, physical combat, and strategic alliances to secure their place in the world. The male dragonfly, for example, selects a sun-drenched perch above a pond. From this vantage, he surveys his watery kingdom, ever alert for intruders. When a rival appears, the air erupts in a dazzling aerial duel. Dragonflies spiral and dart, their wings a blur as they battle for control of the prime breeding site. Only the swiftest and most agile will hold the territory. These territorial battles, whether fought with brute strength, dazzling displays, or intricate songs, are not mere acts of aggression. They are essential strategies, refined by countless generations, for survival and reproductive success. Each contest is a unique drama, a blend of instinct and adaptation. Some rely on physical might, others on beauty or song, but all are shaped by the relentless drive to secure a future. Through these power struggles and shifting boundaries, the animal kingdom story is written, an endless, ever-evolving saga where every victory and every defeat leaves its mark on the tapestry of life. In the untamed wilds, the instinct to protect offspring is a force as ancient as life itself, a primal drive that shapes destinies and forges unbreakable bonds between parent and young. From the dense rainforests of the Amazon to the wind-swept tundra of the Arctic, animal parents, whether armored beetles, vigilant birds, or powerful mammals, face relentless challenges to safeguard their young. High above the Andes, the Andean condor glides on thermal currents, its sharp eyes scanning the cliffs for danger. When a fox dares approach the nest, the condor transforms from a silent sentinel to a fierce defender, swooping down with talons extended, issuing guttural cries that echo across the mountains. This aerial ballet is both a warning and a promise. No threat will go unchallenged while the chick is under its parents' watchful gaze. In the emerald depths of Borneo's rainforests, the female orangutan's devotion is legendary. She raises her infant alone, nurturing it through years of slow growth. Every day she cradles her baby as she swings through the canopy, teaching it to recognize ripe fruit, to weave a sturdy nest, and to navigate the dangers of the jungle. When a clouded leopard prowls nearby or an aggressive male threatens, she positions herself between peril and her child, her body a living barrier, her eyes never wavering. Her vigilance is tireless, her patience a testament to the slow, deliberate pace of orangutan life. Far to the north, beneath the aurora-lit sky, a mother polar bear emerges from her snowy den, her tiny cubs blinking in the harsh Arctic light for the first time. She leads them across a shifting maze of ice floes, teaching them to hunt seals and avoid the ever-present danger of thin ice and prowling males. When a rival male approaches, she stands her ground, her massive frame and thunderous growls a formidable deterrent to any would-be attacker. Every choice, whether to fight, flee, or hide, is a calculated risk, each one made with her cub's survival as the only priority. In the flooded wetlands of South America, the jacana bird upends expectations. Here, the male takes on the role of protector. He incubates the eggs on floating vegetation, his long toes spreading his weight so he can walk atop lily pads, ever alert for danger. When a caiman or snake draws near, the male jacana feigns injury, fluttering across the water's surface to lure the predator away from his vulnerable brood. This act of deception is a delicate dance, one that demands both courage and cunning, and often determines the fate of his offspring. Beneath the waves, the octopus demonstrates a sacrifice unlike any other. After laying thousands of eggs, the mother remains in her den, refusing to leave. She ceases to hunt, surviving on her own reserves, her sole focus the care of her eggs, cleaning them, fanning them with oxygen-rich water, and defending them from hungry intruders. Her vigil lasts for months, and when the hatchlings finally emerge, her strength spent, she fades quietly, a final, selfless act of devotion. In her sacrifice, the next generation is given a chance to thrive in the vast, unpredictable ocean. In Africa's tangled thickets, the honey badger's reputation for fearlessness is legendary, but her true ferocity is revealed when her young are threatened. If a lion, leopard, or venomous snake approaches, the mother honey badger launches a relentless assault, snarling and biting with a tenacity that belies her size. Her courage is unwavering, her resolve absolute. She will not yield, no matter the odds. Across the globe, unique stories unfold. The African elephant matriarch encircling calves with her herd, the poison dart frog carrying tadpoles on its back to hidden pools, the emperor penguin shielding its chick from Antarctic winds. Parental instincts transform the meek into warriors and the solitary into vigilant guardians, each species adapting its own strategies for survival. Through these acts of fierce protection, the cycle of life endures, each new generation standing on the courage, sacrifice, and wisdom of those who came before. In the ever-shifting theatre of the wild, survival is not just a test of strength or courage, it is a showcase of ingenuity. Across continents and climates, animals have evolved remarkable adaptations, each a masterstroke of natural engineering, honed by countless generations. Deep beneath the forest floor, the mole rat tunnels through darkness, its naked skin impervious to the sting of soil and stone. Unable to see, it navigates by touch and scent, its incisors working tirelessly to carve labyrinths that protect its colony from predators above. Here, communication is a series of vibrations, subtle drumming against tunnel walls, relaying warnings and directions in a language felt, not heard. On the sun-scorched plains of Australia, the thorny devil lizard is a marvel of hydration. Its skin is etched with microscopic grooves, channeling precious droplets of morning dew directly to its mouth. When water is scarce, it drinks from its own body, a living conduit that siphons moisture from sand, stone, and even the air itself. Hidden among the kelp forests, the mimic octopus performs its daily masquerade. With an uncanny ability to reshape its body and shift its color, it becomes a lionfish, a flatfish, or a venomous sea snake, each transformation a calculated response to the predators lurking nearby. Its intelligence is matched only by its creativity, making every encounter a puzzle with life or death stakes. In the dense canopies of Madagascar, the eye taps on hollow branches, listening for the vibrations of grubs within. With an elongated, skeletal finger, it extracts its prize, demonstrating a foraging tactic found nowhere else on Earth. This eerie adaptation, misunderstood by many, is a testament to the endless inventiveness of evolution. Under the African moon, the spotted hyena clan gathers in the darkness. Their haunting whoops and cackles carry for miles, a complex code of pitches and timbres that identify individuals, signal danger, and coordinate hunts. Through this vocal tapestry, the clan's social order is maintained, its unity unbreakable, even in the face of fierce competition. In the icy waters of the Antarctic, emperor penguins huddle in tightly packed circles, each bird rotating from the frigid outer edge to the warmth at the center. This living spiral is a communal adaptation, an instinctive choreography that ensures the survival of all, not just the strongest. From the intricate dances of bees to the silent signals of cephalopods, the animal kingdom is a symphony of adaptation and communication. Each unique behavior is a solution to the relentless challenges of nature, a testament to the creativity and resilience that define life in the wild. In these ingenious adaptations, we witness not just survival but the boundless artistry of evolution itself. In the heart of the wild, survival often means finding strength not in solitude but in partnership. Beyond the daily contests for dominance and territory, a hidden network of alliances weaves through the animal kingdom, symbiotic relationships that blur the boundaries between species, each relying on the other for survival, in ways both subtle and profound. Deep within the African savanna, the oxpecker bird perches atop the back of a rhinoceros. With nimble precision, it plucks ticks and biting flies from the rhino's thick hide, feasting on parasites that would otherwise sap the giant's strength. In return, the oxpecker sounds a high-pitched alarm whenever danger approaches, alerting its massive host to lurking predators. Their partnership is a silent pact. Protection traded for nourishment, vigilance exchanged for safety. Beneath the surface of coral reefs, the clownfish and sea anemone share a home fraught with peril and promise. The clownfish, immune to the anemone's stinging tentacles, finds shelter among its swaying arms, safe from hungry hunters. In turn, the clownfish defends its host from nibbling intruders and brings morsels of food that nourish the anemone. Their bond is a living fortress, each partner thriving where others would perish. In the dense jungles of Central America, the leafcutter ant colony forges an alliance with a fungus that is both farm and food. The ants harvest fresh leaves, not for themselves, but as a substrate for their fungal partner. In carefully tended underground chambers, the fungus grows, breaking down the leaves into a digestible feast for the colony. Without the fungus, the ants would starve. Without the ants, the fungus would wither. Together, they form a miniature ecosystem, a partnership millions of years in the making. High among the acacia trees, tiny acacia ants patrol the branches, fiercely defending their home from browsing herbivores and invasive insects. In exchange, the tree provides the ants with nectar-filled nodules and hollow thorns for shelter. This living alliance transforms the tree into a fortress, guarded day and night by an army of vigilant defenders. Even in the shadowy depths of the ocean, the flashlight fish carries bioluminescent bacteria within special pouches beneath its eyes. The fish offers these microscopic allies a safe haven and nutrients, while the bacteria's glow illuminates the dark waters, helping the fish hunt and communicate in the inky blackness. Across continents and habitats, these rare alliances reveal the intricate web of cooperation that underpins life in the wild. In a world defined by competition, it is often collaboration that ensures survival, the silent handshake between species, unseen yet essential, that shapes the destiny of the animal kingdom. In the untamed reaches of the wild, intelligence is not a human monopoly. Across forests, plains, and oceans, animals display astonishing cognitive abilities, outsmarting obstacles, adapting to change, and solving problems with creativity that rivals our own. On the African savanna, the elephant emerges as a gentle giant with a remarkable memory. When drought descends and waterholes vanish, matriarchs lead their herds across parched landscapes, recalling hidden springs from journeys made decades before. Their knowledge, passed down through generations, is the difference between life and death, a living map etched in memory and instinct. Along the rocky coastline, the octopus reigns as a master of escape and ingenuity. With flexible bodies and no rigid skeleton, octopuses squeeze through the tiniest crevices to evade predators, but their talents go beyond contortion. Observed in the wild, octopuses collect coconut shells and assemble them as mobile shelters, carrying protection wherever they roam. Their ability to solve puzzles, open jars, and even mimic other sea creatures testifies to a mind as adaptable as the shifting tides. In the dense rainforests, New Caledonian crows turn twigs and leaves into tools. With deft precision, they fashion hooks to extract insects from tree bark, a skill honed through trial, error, and learning from one another. Some crows cache food and remember dozens of hiding spots, demonstrating planning and foresight once thought to be uniquely human. Meanwhile, bottlenose dolphins in coastal waters showcase social intelligence and teamwork. In a display of coordinated hunting, groups encircle schools of fish, driving them into tight balls before taking turns to feed. In some regions, dolphins use marine sponges as protective nose covers to probe the seafloor for hidden prey, a learned behavior passed from mother to calf. Even in the arid outback, the Australian archerfish demonstrates precision and calculation. By spitting jets of water, the archerfish knocks unsuspecting insects from overhanging branches, adjusting its aim to account for the distortion of light at the water's surface. Each shot is a testament to its keen perception and learning. From the silent forests to the shimmering depths, the animal kingdom is alive with minds that learn, innovate, and adapt. Intelligence in the wild is not measured by words or inventions, but by the ability to read the landscape, solve daily challenges, and ensure survival in an ever-changing world. Here, every clever trick and ingenious strategy is a testament to the boundless creativity of nature itself. Across the globe, countless animals embark on extraordinary journeys, epic migrations that span continents, oceans, and entire lifetimes. In these odysseys, survival hinges on the ability to navigate vast and often perilous landscapes. Guided not by maps or compasses, but by an innate sense honed through evolution. High above the earth, flocks of Arctic terns undertake the longest migration in the animal kingdom, traveling from the icy Arctic to the Antarctic and back again, a round trip of over 40,000 miles each year. Their flight path follows ancient wind currents and shifting daylight, a celestial choreography written in the stars and sun. Beneath the waves, humpback whales traverse thousands of miles between polar feeding grounds and tropical breeding waters. Scientists believe these giants use a combination of Earth's magnetic field, solar cues, and even the unique songs of their kind to find their way through the vast, featureless oceans. On the African plains, wildebeest, zebras, and antelope move in synchronized herds, crossing treacherous rivers and arid savannas in search of fresh grazing. Their journeys are timed with the rhythms of rain and the promise of renewal, a living pulse that sustains entire ecosystems as predators and scavengers follow in their wake. In the night sky, monarch butterflies flutter across North America, navigating by the angle of the sun and an internal clock. Despite never having made the journey before, each new generation finds its way to the same mountain forests in Mexico, a feat that continues to puzzle and inspire scientists. Even in the depths of the earth, tiny European eels hatch in the Sargasso Sea and migrate thousands of miles to freshwater rivers, guided by chemical cues, water currents, and the mysterious pool of their birthplace. These migrations are more than mere movement. They are acts of endurance, memory, and instinct. Each journey is a testament to the remarkable navigational strategies woven into the fabric of life. Whether by starlight, magnetic fields, or the scent of distant rains, animals on the move reveal nature's astonishing ability to chart a course through the unknown. In the great migrations of the wild, we find not only the power of endurance, but the quiet genius of navigation, an ancient wisdom written in feathers, fur, and fin, guiding generations on their timeless paths. In the intricate tapestry of the wild, survival depends not only on strength or cunning, but on the ability to communicate. For animals, the world is alive with messages, spoken not in words, but in sounds, signals, and subtle gestures. The dawn chorus of songbirds is a symphony of intention, where each trill and warble carries meaning. Some notes warn of lurking predators, while others declare territory or invite a mate. In the dense rainforest, howler monkeys unleash booming calls that travel for miles, marking their presence and warding off rivals in the tangled canopy. Underwater, dolphins use a sophisticated blend of clicks, whistles, and body postures to coordinate hunts and convey complex information. Their unique signature whistles function almost like names, allowing individuals to call to one another across vast stretches of ocean. In the savanna, elephants communicate through deep, rumbling infrasound, frequencies too low for human ears to detect. These seismic signals can travel through the ground, carrying news of distant waterholes or the birth of a calf to family members miles away. Visual signals, too, are woven into animal interactions. The flash of a peacock's tail, the warning stripes of a skunk, or the intricate dances of honeybees all serve as silent languages, transmitting information about danger, food, or status. Honeybees perform the waggle dance to map out the location of nectar-rich flowers, encoding distance and direction in the angle and duration of their movements. Body language is equally vital. Wolves lower their bodies and tuck their tails to show submission, while a raised hackle signals aggression. Even subtle changes in posture or facial expression can alter the course of an encounter, maintaining harmony within the group or averting conflict. Chemical messages, pheromones, add yet another layer. Ants lay invisible trails that guide their colony to food sources, while scent markings in big cats declare territory boundaries and reproductive status. In every corner of the wild, communication is a lifeline, an unspoken code that binds families, organizes societies, and ensures the survival of species. Through sound, sight, scent, and movement, animals share information in ways both ancient and astonishing. In nature's secret language, every call, signal, and gesture is a thread in the ongoing story of life. Beneath the surface of survival, the animal kingdom pulses with emotion and connection, a world where feelings shape destinies as much as tooth and claw. In the heart of an elephant herd, a matriarch pauses over the bones of a fallen relative, her trunk tracing the ivory in a silent act of remembrance. Nearby, younger elephants linger quietly, their stillness a testament to shared grief. Scientists have observed elephants returning to these sites for years, as if paying homage to the memory of lost kin. In the frigid waters of the Arctic, a pod of orcas swims in tight formation, their movements synchronized with remarkable precision. When a calf is born, the entire group slows its pace, surrounding the newborn in a protective embrace. For days, the mother is rarely alone. Other females take turns supporting her, offering comfort and companionship in the icy expanse. Primates, too, reveal a spectrum of emotion. Chimpanzees have been seen consoling one another after conflict, gently grooming the fur of the distressed. In one extraordinary moment, a young chimp approaches an older male who has lost a friend, reaching out to touch his hand, a gesture of empathy that transcends mere instinct. Bonding is not reserved for the large or the familiar. In the tangled undergrowth, vampire bats engage in acts of generosity, regurgitating blood to feed companions who have failed to find a meal. This exchange is not automatic. It is based on trust, built over years of shared roosting and mutual aid. Even among birds, deep connections flourish. The albatross, famed for its epic migrations, forms lifelong partnerships. Pairs greet each other with elaborate dances after months apart at sea, weaving a ritual of reunion that strengthens their union each season. These emotional threads are not illusions. They are the foundation of alliances, the glue of families, and the source of resilience in the wild. Through joy, sorrow, loyalty, and compassion, animals forge relationships that endure beyond necessity. In the intricate web of life, emotion is not a human invention. It is a universal language, written in every touch, call, and shared silence beneath the open sky. In the relentless theater of the wild, survival often hinges on more than brute strength or lightning reflexes. Animals have evolved a dazzling array of defense mechanisms and escape tactics, ingenious strategies honed across millennia to outwit predators and defy the odds. Consider the bombardier beetle. When threatened, it unleashes a volatile chemical spray from its abdomen, creating a rapid-fire burst of boiling liquid that deters even the most persistent attackers. The process is so precise that the beetle can aim its defense in any direction, transforming itself into a living chemical cannon. Elsewhere, the African savanna becomes a stage for deception and agility. The impala, a master of evasion, employs explosive leaps and unpredictable zigzag sprints to escape the jaws of lions and cheetahs. Each twist and bound is calculated chaos, making it nearly impossible for a pursuer to anticipate their next move. In the calm shallows of coral reefs, the octopus reigns as a true escape artist. When danger approaches, it can vanish in a cloud of ink, its body squeezing through impossibly narrow crevices. Some species take mimicry to the extreme, contorting their bodies to resemble venomous sea snakes, lionfish, or even flatfish, confounding would-be predators with illusions. For the pangolin, defense is a matter of armor. When threatened, it curls into a tight, impenetrable ball, its keratin scales forming a shield that repels teeth and claws alike. This simple, ancient tactic has allowed the pangolin to survive in habitats from dense forests to arid plains. Even the smallest creatures wield remarkable defenses. The harlequin filefish, barely the length of a finger, can alter its skin color and pattern in seconds, blending seamlessly into the shifting tapestry of coral. When camouflage fails, it erects sharp dorsal spines, warning predators that it is not an easy meal. These mechanisms are not acts of aggression, but of survival, remarkable adaptations that blur the line between prey and predator, hunter and hunted. In every corner of the natural world, the art of defense is a testament to evolution's creativity, ensuring that life in all its forms continues its ancient dance against the ever-present threat of danger. In the heart of the wilderness, intelligence takes many forms, and sometimes it's revealed through the remarkable use of tools. Far from being the exclusive domain of humans, tool use has emerged independently across diverse animal lineages, showcasing the inventive spirit of survival. On the sun-drenched shores of the Pacific, the sea otter floats effortlessly on its back, a stone resting on its chest. With practiced precision, it smashes open stubborn shellfish, transforming an ordinary rock into a specialized anvil. Each otter learns this skill from observing others, passing down a tradition of innovation from one generation to the next. In the dense forests of West Africa, chimpanzees wield sticks as tools, selecting, stripping, and shaping branches to extract termites from hidden mounds. Some even fashion spears to hunt small mammals, demonstrating foresight and adaptability. These acts are not mere instinct, they require planning, learning, and sometimes even collaboration. Among the crows of New Caledonia, intelligence takes flight. These birds craft hooks from twigs and leaves, manipulating materials with their beaks to retrieve grubs from deep crevices. Their problem-solving abilities rival those of primates, and each new solution spreads rapidly through their communities. Even underwater, the octopus displays a flair for innovation. The veined octopus gathers coconut shells, arranging them as portable shelters. When danger looms, it assembles its armored refuge, an impromptu fortress built from the detritus of the sea. Tool use in the wild is more than a sign of intelligence. It's a window into the minds of animals, revealing creativity, adaptability, and the drive to overcome challenges. Through these innovations, creatures across the globe continue to surprise and inspire, reminding us that the roots of ingenuity run deep in the natural world. Beneath the canopy of ancient forests and across the wide-open savannas, the pursuit of a mate sparks some of the most dazzling spectacles in the natural world. Courtship rituals are nature's grand performances, each species choreographing a unique dance, display, or serenade to win the favor of a potential partner. On the forest floor of New Guinea, the male superb bird of paradise transforms into a living illusion. With feathers fanned into a jet-black oval, an iridescent blue chest plate glowing, he hops in rhythmic pulses, clicking and snapping to capture the female's attention. His movements are precise, honed by generations of evolutionary selection. Only the most mesmerizing dancers will pass on their genes. In the shallow rivers of South America, the armored catfish engages in a subtler ritual. Males meticulously clean and guard a patch of riverbed, preparing a nursery for eggs. The female inspects his handiwork, judging not just his strength, but his dedication and attention to detail. A silent conversation of intentions, spoken through action. High above the African plains, the lilac-breasted roller spins through the sky in a breathtaking aerial ballet. Twisting and diving, it flashes its vibrant plumage, each roll and call a testament to vitality and vigor. These aerial acrobatics are not just for show, they are honest signals of health and agility, traits essential for survival. In the icy waters of the Arctic, the bearded seal serenades. Males produce haunting melodic trills that echo for kilometers beneath the ice. These songs, unique to each individual, help females navigate the vast frozen expanse to find the most suitable mate, a demonstration of stamina and vocal prowess, critical in a world where every advantage counts. Even among insects, courtship can be an art form. The male peacock spider, tiny yet flamboyant, unfurls a kaleidoscopic fan of colors and vibrates in a rapid, complex dance. His performance is both bold and risky. Missteps may end in rejection, or worse, predation. But for those who succeed, the reward is the continuation of their lineage. From elaborate dances and intricate constructions to melodic serenades and daring displays, courtship rituals reveal the creativity and complexity of animal behavior. Each ritual is a testament to the lengths creatures will go in the name of attraction, and a reminder that the will to connect, to impress, and to endure is woven into the very fabric of life itself. Hidden beneath the surface of the wild, invisible lines of power and order shape the lives of countless animal societies. From the depths of the ocean to the heart of the rainforest, intricate hierarchies govern who eats, who leads, and who survives. In the dense bamboo forests of China, giant panda mothers gently nudge their cubs into playful wrestling matches. But beyond these tender moments, red panda groups establish subtle pecking orders through scent marking and gentle sparring, ensuring access to the best feeding spots without open conflict. On the African savanna, elephants move in tightly knit matriarchal herds. The oldest female, wise with decades of memory, leads her family across parched landscapes in search of water. Her authority is unchallenged, her knowledge of hidden springs and ancient trails a lifeline for generations. Deep in the coral labyrinths, clownfish clans organize themselves by a strict hierarchy. The largest, most dominant female rules the anemone, while her mate assumes the role of the sole breeding male. Should she disappear, the next in line undergoes a remarkable transformation, changing sex to take her place and maintain the balance. Meerkat mobs in the Kalahari Desert operate as cooperative units with a dominant breeding pair at the helm. Subordinate members act as vigilant sentinels, scanning the horizon for danger while others forage or care for pups. Every role is vital, every action a thread in an unspoken pact of survival. Wolves, too, are bound by complex social contracts. Packs are led by an alpha pair, but harmony depends on clear communication. Subtle body language, postures, and even the order of feeding reinforce bonds and minimize conflict. Even among birds, order prevails. In a colony of weaver birds, the most skilled nest builders claim central, coveted branches, attracting the attention of prospective mates. Lesser builders, relegated to the periphery, must wait their turn or improve their craft for the next season. These invisible kingdoms reveal a truth. Life in the wild is not just a contest of strength or speed, but a delicate balance of cooperation, competition, and respect for order. The rules may be unwritten, but they are understood by all, passed down through instinct and observation, a testament to the quiet brilliance of nature's societies.